Okay, on this video, I'm going to show you how to solve quadratics by the quadratic formula. Okay, step number one, you gotta make sure the problem they gave you is equal to zero. In our case, it is equal to zero. If it's not equal to zero, you make it equal to zero. Okay, so number one, the equation must be equal to zero. And number two, step number two, find the a value, the b value, and the c value. The way you find the a value, b value, and c value is the following. Right above the problem they gave you, you're gonna write. You gotta make sure that this is in descending order. Descending order means the highest power, the next highest power, and then nothing. It has to be going down. 2, 1, 0. So this would be a x squared. This would be bx, and this would be c. So if we compare the equation they gave us to this one right here, that's telling that a is equal to 2. So a is equal to 2. Now, what is the b value? B value is negative 3. B is negative 3, and the c value is negative 20. Once you do that, step number 3 is I need to find what they call the discriminant. Now, the discriminant is a formula. You can memorize it, or you just come to the test or the quiz with the notes, and you can use them. Discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. That is the discriminant. Now, to calculate it, I'm going to plug in these values in here. So I need the b value, the a value, and the c value. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this because you know what, this will never change. What is the b value? B value is negative 3 because it's negative, put parentheses, parentheses, negative 3. Multiply minus 4 multiplied by a is negative 3. I'm sorry, a is 2, so I'm going to put in the 2. Multiply by the c value. C value is negative 20 because it's negative. I put it in parentheses. Now, negative 3 squared means negative 3 times negative 3. That'll be 9. 4 times 8. 4 times 2 will be 8. Oh, I'm sorry, negative 4 times 2 will be negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 20 will be positive 116. Negative times negative will give you a plus. Now, 9 plus 160 will give you 169. Okay, so my discriminant, it became 169. Okay, now next I want you to use what we call the quadratic formula. So I'm gonna write quadratic, and like the discriminant, if you want to, you can memorize it, or just bring your notes to the test or quiz, and you can use it. Okay, I'm gonna reread quadratic formula, and the quadratic formula will be the following: the x value will be equal to negative b plus or minus square root of the discriminant. Discriminant is b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And I'm sorry, this should be the c value. Okay, that looks kind of weird. That'll be the c value. Now just plug in the values. I'm gonna have a negative because there's a negative in here. B value is negative 3 because it's negative. You need to put in parentheses. Very, very important. I don't know if you notice there's two negatives in here. One is from the formula, and the other came with a b value. Then plus or minus the square root of the discriminant. I did already. Discriminant is 169. All over 2 times a, and the a value will be 2. Okay. Now let's simplify that. Two negatives will give you a positive, so this is just positive 3. Plus or minus, what is square root of 169? That'll be 13. And 2 times 2 will give you. Now, I cannot simplify that because of the 13. Sometimes he's positive, sometimes he's negative. So I have to look at two different cases. Case number one, what would the answer be if the 13 was positive 13? In case number two, what would the answer be if the 13 was negative 13? Now the problem is the answer becomes x is equal to 3. Now 13 has no more choices. He must be positive 13. He doesn't have a choice between negative or positive. So it's negative plus 13. And then on the bottom we have 4. Now 3 plus 13 will give you 16. And 16 divided by 4. That is the answer. That is an improper fraction. It's improper because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. See the following. How many times can 4 go into 16? So answer number 1 is 4. When the 13 is positive, the answer will be 4. Now, what would the answer be if 13 was negative 13? The problem now is x is equal to 3. The 13 doesn't have a choice anymore. He must be negative 13. Divide by 2 times a, and a is 2. 3 minus 13 will give you negative 10, and 2 times 2 will give you 4. Okay, once again, we have the same problem. We have an improper fraction, and that is because the number on top is larger than the number in the bottom. How many times can 4 go into 10? 2. And 4 times 2 will give you 8. I need 2 more for 10. Divide by 4. Negative, that is the answer. If you're having a hard time seeing how I got the answer, take this fraction and do the long division. Denominator goes on the outside, and the numerator goes on the inside. Do this long division, and you get the answer of negative 2, negative 2 and 2/4. Okay, so that's how you do stuff using the quadratic formula. And like I told you, you don't have to memorize the discriminant or the quadratic formula. Just bring them to the bring your notes to the test or the quiz, and that's how you get the answer. Okay, no need to memorize them. And the quadratic formula is this is the quadratic formula. Okay, if you look at the quadratic formula, it looks very complicated. It looks difficult, but it's not that bad. Okay, so that is example number 1. Let me do example number 2. Okay, that is example number 2. So let me put over here. So problem number 2, make sure the equation is equal to 0. In this case, the equation is equal to 0. Now, step number 2, find the A value, the B value, and the C value. What you're gonna write right above the problem they gave us, you're gonna write ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now, if you notice, the top equation is very similar to the bottom equation. The a value is the number that's right here. What number do you see right here? A value will be 1. The b value is the number you see right here. That's negative 3. And the c value is the number you see right here. Is 2. Now, step number 3 is calculate the discriminant. The way you find the discriminant is you calculate the following. B squared minus 4ac. I'm gonna put in the square and the minus 4. Now I need the b value. What is the b value? B value is negative 3. I'm gonna put in negative 3 square. Because it's negative, put a parentheses. Negative 4 multiplied by a, and a will be 1. Multiplied by c, and c will be 2. Now, negative 3 is going to be negative 3 times negative 3, which will give you 9. Negative 4 multiplied by 1 will give you negative 4. And negative 4 multiplied by 2 will give you negative 8. And 9 minus 8 will give you 1. So in this particular case, the discriminant is 1. Now, next thing I want you to do is use the quadratic formula. Quadratic. I'm going to abbreviate formula. That'll be form. So the answer will be, and the quadratic formula is the x value will be equal to negative b plus or minus square root of the discriminant, and the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac all over 2 multiplied by a, 2a. So, like before, I'm gonna put in negative, then plus or minus square root, and then all over 2 times. The reason why I write that first, that never changes. What changes are the a, b, and c value. So I need a b value. What is the b value? B value is negative 3. I put in parentheses. I need 2 negatives. One is from the formula, and the other came with the number. Now, what is the discriminant? Discriminant, I got 1. And all over 2 times a, what is a? A is 1. Now, if I change this to one sign only, it will be positive 3 or just 3. Plus or minus square root of 1, that'll be 1. And all over 2 times 1, 2 times 1 will give you 2. Okay? And like before, I cannot simplify this because of the 1 is plus or minus. So I have to look at two cases. Case number 1 is, what would the answer be if the 1 was positive 1? Case number 2 will be, what would the answer be if the 1 was negative 1? So the problem becomes x is equal to, we have a 3. The 1 has no choice, he must be positive 1 all over 2. And 3 plus 1 will give you 4. So this will be 4 divided by 2. And 4 over 2 will give you 2 goes into 4 2 times, so the answer will be 2. Now, second case, the problem will be x is equal to 3 again. Now, the one doesn't have a choice. He must be negative 1. Divide by 2. And that will be equal to 3 minus 1 will give you 2. Divide by 2. And 2 divided by 2 will be 1. Okay? So as you can see, the work is not that complicated. Yes, it is a lot of work, it is a lot of writing, but it's not that complicated. Okay? Now you can solve quadratics by completing the square.